Batman, The Dark Knight #2, written by Paul Jenkins, art by David Finch. Both of them have plotting credits. Where we left off last time, Batman was storming through Arkham, which was having an outbreak, and he came across a super huge, roided out One-Face instead of Two-Face. I'm only going to call him Two-Face, though, because there's no way I'm going to be able to mentally change that. So we open up this issue. Batman is talking about, I'm not afraid of death. Maybe I'm afraid of living, but definitely not afraid of pain, as Two-Face is wailing on him. It's not even a fair fight. And Two-Face starts, as he's beating the crap out of Batman, monologuing about, I had my fear taken away, and soon the entire world will, and fear is the only thing that stops people from doing things, so everyone is going to be blah, blah, blah. As he's talking, blood starts pouring from his eyes. He passes out, and Batman's like, cool, that worked out. So Batman meets up with Jim Gordon on top of GCPD, and they just talk about what happened. 37 injured, 7 critical, 15 dead, with Batman almost being number 16. A bunch of inmates were injected with whatever it was, and they're loose out in the city. Apparently, some of them say they saw a white rabbit. Batman questions this, and Gordon writes it off as a common visual motif among abduction victims. Who would have guessed? Yeah, maybe in this town, just assume that it is an actual white rabbit. That seems like the more proper thing. Batman asks if anyone saw a girl, and Jim's like, dude, are you kidding? No one saw it. Batman, look, I gotta talk to you. Things have been really tough for me lately. This going down on my watch. I just almost got kicked out as commissioner because of the internal affairs guy. The only reason I'm around is because I pulled some strings, and I don't really have any friends around because everything's just kind of going bad all the time, and you're really my only friend, Batman, and I really need to talk to you right now. And then Batman disappears as Jim turns around because he's a dick like that. So then we get a bunch of stuff. Then we get a scene. He's driving in the Batmobile, and he tells Alfred, all right, so we got to go track down all these broken out inmates who are now roided out monsters like One-Face. So who's probably behind this? Scarecrow, Hugo Strange? And he's like, well, I'll analyze the toxin. But when they analyze it, it comes back. It's Scarecrow, but it's been heavily modified, and Scarecrow was last seen in Arkham, so it could be, could not be. It's unclear. Batman also tasks Alfred with trying to track down the girl in the white rabbit outfit. And I love Alfred's line here. A half-naked girl in white lingerie. No doubt the World Wide Web is replete with such images. Master Bruce, I shall do my utmost to sort through them all. Love that. And even Batman does. He gives a little smirk afterwards. So then Alfred tells him he has a little bit of Bruce Wayne work to do, a couple meetings that he cancels. And then he gets to a dinner with Miss Jana Hudson, the girl from the last issue. And he's like, actually, keep that one on, because that feels plot relevant. So then we start seeing all around Gotham, all the things that are happening with these inmates. You got Damian and Dick Grayson fighting the ventriloquist. They apparently broke Scarface, his little doll, and so he tosses it aside, grabs the corpse of a GCPD member, shoves his hand into his spine and starts using him as a new puppet because he's also huge and whited out. And even at this point, Damian's like, we're going to need some backup. Speaking of backup, literally every other Bat book. You've got Batgirl fighting Victor Zsasz. You've got the Birds of Prey fighting Clock King. And if that wasn't a deep enough cut for you, you got Batwoman fighting Cavalier, which for those who don't know is just a dude who went to the Ren Fair. And then we cut back to what Batman's doing. He went to Gotham Hospital, and he's there with Two-Face, who everyone else apparently got brain damage from this thing. He's the only one who's still sane enough to talk. And Batman's like, all right, where's the girl? Who is she? What'd she do? What's the white rabbit significance? And Two-Face is like, are you sure I'm the one on drugs? Because you sound pretty crazy right now. Batman starts threatening him. And as he's shouting, he's like, I'm going to take that drug off the streets, and you're never going to have your fix again. How does that sound, buddy? An orderly busts in. And then we just kind of leave that because they get a call that Joker has taken control of a subway train. And that's obviously priority number one if Joker's doing something. So he gets to the subway train. He's fighting off goons on top. There's a scene where one of the goons has got a gun trained on him, and a tunnel's coming up behind the goon. So Batman just does the Indiana Jones duck. Batman makes it inside the train and sees the Joker's already killed like a bunch of his goons, which he says, "Oh, this doesn't make any sense." And then he hears a voice saying like, "Oh, it never makes any sense, not until you get to the end, and by then it's useless. But isn't the chase better anyway?" And you see that it's the White Rabbit girl, and he gives chase to her down the subway train. She seemingly can like freaking teleport, because as soon as she closes one door, she's all the way down at the next one. But as she makes her way down to the very end of the train, Batman comes across the Joker, now roided out, and he says, "How funny, a clown dressed in a bat suit. Too bad you're just the opening act. Wait till they get a load of me." And the White Rabbit is draped over muscular Joker, shirtless, as he's gripping a throne of his goons that he killed. It's so weird, you know? Like, that's really the best way to just... Like, this feels the most cinematic, I think is the best way to put it, is that it feels like it could be written to just be adapted straight for the screen. There's nothing that's really inherent about it being a comic book in that way. But it's strange in that why are we doing the muscular, like, why? Especially because I don't quote me on this because I can't remember, but I feel like this came out after the Arkham Asylum game. I think it started with Asylum City, right? Anyway, with muscular Joker being a thing, someone should have learned from someone that that's not a good thing to do, but whatever. No, it's so strange. And also that this is technically like a little mini event, in that you've got the page of everyone else in Gotham dealing with this thing. And I mean everyone. The fact that all of the Bat books are involved in this, it's like, why the Dark Knight? I don't get it. Art-wise, I can't complain. Nothing's wrong with it. It's got some good shadows, some good stuff with it. It's fine. But no, it's just the writing. I gotta give it like a 5. Just because it's not bad. No one's like particularly out of character. It's just so like, really? Okay, I guess. But whatever. We'll pick up on issue 3 and see who else is on steroids the next time around.